All right, you guys, what is going on? Paul James here, and thank you so much for joining me for this very special webinar presentation that I have for you. You're going to learn a lot in today's training. So do me a favor, say hello, locate the chat box. I want to make sure that you know where to ask questions, or question box. I know we call them different things. But I will be able to see your responses, and I'm going to do my best during this presentation to answer all of your questions. I may have to take breaks in between what I'm talking about just to make sure you really understand everything, and then I'll pause and answer questions, and I'll do my very best to get to every question. But there are a lot of people here on this call today. But today we're talking about how to get paid $1,000 a month to fix invisible Google Maps listings for local businesses, even if you've struggled to land clients or rankings before. So let's dive right in. What you're looking at on the screen here is calls that we've been generating for our clients after we've fixed invisible Google Business Profiles. Now, if you're not familiar with Google Business Profiles, it's the new replacement for Google My Business, and it's also referred to as Google Maps. So we'll be using all three of those terms interchangeably throughout this presentation today, but just know that we're referring to the same thing as we talk about this. Now, this is an example of views, searches, and activity that we got for just one of our clients in just 30 days after fixing their visibility issues. And that's all thanks to Google Maps and the Google Business Profile. These are people that search for our clients, see their profile, which we made a few changes to help them show up in more areas, and many of which will convert into paying customers for them. Now, why is this important? It's because it's an opportunity to do what I'm doing and have business owners pay you upwards of $2,000 a month or more with a smile, and leverage some powerful tools in AI to make it incredibly simple. Now, I want to explain to you why Google Maps is still the most powerful lead source for local businesses. And you've probably used Google Maps in your everyday life, so you may already kind of understand why. But the bottom line is it brings in calls, not clicks. It can rank in days, not months, and it converts searchers into buyers without ads or complicated SEO. And actually, I'm going to prove that to you right now. It's also faster, cheaper, and easier than SEO or Facebook ads because you don't have any ad spend, you don't have long-term ranking battles, and there's no social content treadmill. It's just show up when people search and then get the call. And in fact, you can see calls coming in right there. And most business owners don't even know they're already on it. A lot of them, their Google Business Profile, or formerly Google My Business, is automatically created for them by Google, but almost none of them optimize it correctly. And this is where you come in and why you can actually get paid to do it. What if I told you that most businesses are invisible on Google Maps without even realizing it? Now, you can check out right here. They only show up near their business, but they have no visibility outside of directly where their building is. So they think that they rank, but they're actually hidden, and they're literally bleeding leads and have no idea. So what you'll discover today is how to turn a simple 5-minute audit into $1,000 a month clients, and sometimes more than that, using a hidden Google Maps flaw that's costing businesses leads daily. You're going to also learn the exact system I use to build a $10,000 a month side hustle with no cold calls, no tech skills, and no paid ads. And you'll also learn why this works even if you've never ranked a business before or if you've struggled to get clients in the past. And you'll see how to do it from anywhere, even your couch, and how to outsource most of the work. Now, this is the same checklist that we use when we run a grid scan on a business and we realize that it's basically invisible outside of their zip code. It shows you exactly what to fix, and it's how I justify $1,000 a month retainers without needing to do any hard selling. Now, later on in the workshop, I'll drop a download link. You'll get it completely free just for being here with me today. So keep watching. I promise that it will be worth it. And I do want to be real with you. What I'm about to show you isn't some magic money hack. It works, but it does take some action on your part. There's no gimmicks here. This is just a skill that businesses actually need, and they're happy to pay for it. So when I show you my earnings or what students have done, that's what's possible. It's not a guarantee. But here's what I can promise. What I can promise is this. You're about to see a method that's proven to work for me and for a ton of others who started with literally zero experience. Does that sound fair enough and like a deal? Give me some yeses in the chat box if that sounds like a deal, or give me like the word deal in the chat box or question box. Awesome. Now you're in the right place if maybe you've tried other online side hustles, but nothing's really stuck for you. You know, you might have built some websites, posted content, or run ads and still struggled to get any real traction. Maybe you're tired of guessing what's working or chasing trends or, starting from scratch. And you've thought, I know I'm capable, so why am I still stuck? Maybe you've pitched yourself and you've been ignored or laughed off. That's happened to quite a few of us. And you're not lazy, you just want a system that's simple, proven, and real. So whether you're already helping local businesses or you're just looking for something real that actually works, you are in the right place right now. And before we dive in, let me just say this. I'm not some overnight success or tech genius. I'm a college dropout who was living in my brother's garage, and now I've built a business that brings in over $10,000 a month doing this, helping local businesses with one tiny tweak that most people never see. My local newspaper even wrote a piece on me. They named me one of 40 under 40 most influential people in the state. And I'm going to show you exactly how I did it, starting with what no one talks about. And also, this stuff doesn't just work for me, it also works for my students too, like Vince here, who followed what I said and got a $900 a month client. Okay, this doesn't just work for marketing pros, it works for everyday people, side hustlers, beginners, and even folks who have never touched Google Maps before. So here's what I need from you. What I'm about to share has helped me and others generate thousands per month from local businesses without cold calls or complicated tech. But to get the full value, I need your full attention. So please close your tabs, mute your phone, shut down Facebook, and really focus in for the next 45 minutes or so, because what I'm about to show you could change your income forever. If I have an all-in from you, let me know in the chat box right now. Let me know that when you're presented with a plan and you feel confident you can take action, you are going to go all in on this today. Awesome, I'm seeing lots of all-ins coming in. Okay, now if you've struggled before, I do quickly want to say it's not your fault. You don't need experience with local businesses to do this. You don't need to know SEO. In fact, this actually works better if you've never touched it. This method shows you exactly where the money is and how to get it without guessing or cold pitching. And getting clients, it's not going to feel like finding a needle in a haystack anymore. In fact, Paul T was working part-time dabbling in this stuff, and he still managed to turn it into a 7-figure agency. He first wrote in telling me about how he's making $20,000 a month from just 16 clients with no ads, no hard selling. And then he followed the blueprint even further, and he's turned it into a 7-figure business. He didn't start with experience, connections, or a team. What made the difference is he followed the same blueprint that I'm about to show you today. Now, who here would like to see some case studies? Give me a 1 in the chat box if you'd prefer that I show you what's working rather than just tell you about it. I know I always like to see what's working. Okay, lots of 1s coming in. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna show you case studies like this, but I will be blocking out the city and anything that would reveal the personal information of my client. As you can imagine, I can't give my clients away. I'll have people watching this and then going and trying to harass clients or maybe steal them from me, right? So I'm gonna block out exactly what city they are, but you can see that I managed the listing by that little verification check mark right there on the screen. So this is the keyword up at the top, home heating, and then the part that's blurred out is the city name. So we're ranking for home heating, city name. Our client is showing up number 3 in maps. Pretty crazy, right? Here's another one. This one's for roofer, city name. You can see my verification check right there. It's for business profile manager. Number 2, we've got that area dominated. And these rankings are in cities where SEO agencies typically charge $2,000 or more per month. And thanks to the invisible listing method, we lock in those spots fast and clients pay us monthly like clockwork. Here's one of those case studies I just showed you. You can see one of my clients is getting 491 people finding their business profile due to searching. And that's thanks to the work we've done setting this up for them. Here's another one. This one is another HVAC company, different company though, and it's a different city. But I've got a lot of word of mouth referrals going on in this niche. And as you can imagine, once customers start to get results like this, word starts to spread pretty fast. So we're holding down HVAC Tech, city name, for the number 1 spot. And that's insane. In fact, to give you an idea, here are those two heating companies I showed you and their total calls that we've generated for them. So you can see now why it's easy for us to justify these monthly fees of $2,000 or more, right? Now I want to show you one more before I teach you the 3-step system that we use to actually do this, okay? People always ask me, Paul, can I do this in a different country? And that's because they notice I'm in the US or whatever, right? So here's a client of mine outside of the US. Again, I won't say exactly where, but it's a popular tour destination. This company dominates by doing local tours, and they hold the #1 spot there. So you can see we're ranked for tours in, and then it's the tourist destination that they're in. We hold the #1 spot. Now, to show you just how powerful this is, it's such a massive market that they're getting over 3,500 people that find them every single month, all because of the Google Business Profile and fixing this invisible listing problem. Okay, now guys, can you see now why business owners pay you $1,000 a month or more with a smile? Yes, it's a no-brainer for them, right? In fact, it literally costs them money not to do this. It would be like them just directing their customers on over to their competitor. So what makes this work so consistently, even for people who have never done this before? Well, that's where the 3 simple steps come in. And they work even if you're brand new. So the 3 steps are the hidden maps flaw that created a 10K a month side hustle, and why even top-ranked businesses are invisible in 90% of their service area. Then step 2, the 5 words that make a local business say yes, and why business owners flip out when they see this. And then step 3, which is turning visibility gaps into monthly paydays, and how to get clients ranking and paying you in every neighborhood that they serve. All right, so let's just get into it with step 1. The hidden Google Maps flaw that's costing local businesses thousands, and the side hustle it created that now pays me over $10,000 a month on autopilot. You can see there between my 2 payment platforms, we are absolutely killing it. Now, most businesses think they're ranking just fine because when they search their business name, they see themselves right on top, like this, right? But that's not how new customers find them. Customers don't type in your name. They type in things like roofing near me, or emergency plumber, or best HVAC Orlando. And as you can see, when this is done, they're nowhere to be found, right? They're basically not there. So they rank basically in their exact zip code, but they disappear 2 blocks away, okay? 90% of businesses are invisible in their service area. So you can see here by the green, this shows where they're ranking, #1, basically in their exact vicinity. But then as you start to go out even just a few blocks, they lose their ranking. They're basically not there anymore at all. And they have no clue. Now here's the flaw in Google's 3-pack logic. Google shows results based on the location of the person who's searching, not the business's address. So if someone's 3 blocks away, your listing might not ever appear because they're not right on top of them. So even though they've ranked #1 right where they're at, their listing turns invisible. Customers aren't seeing them. Calls aren't coming in. Competitors are getting their traffic if they're even just blocks away from where their building is. And guys, this translates into a lot of money. They're losing 20 to 30 calls a month, and they don't even know about it. That's the sad part. Now think about this. Even 5 booked jobs could be worth $3,000 to $5,000 a month, and they have 0 visibility into it. You guys, once I realized this, everything changed. I stopped doing cold SEO. I stopped guessing rankings. And instead, I showed business owners what Google was hiding from them. And they started paying me $1,500 plus per month to fix it for them. Is this making sense? Can you now see why fixing this flaw is the key to making great money? Yeah, right? So that's step 1, is basically identifying what this flaw is so that you can use it to your advantage. Now, let's get into step 2, which is the 5 words that make local businesses say yes and why business owners flip out when they see this. I taught this to Derby, and after implementing the 5 words, he landed several clients. It's just so effective, and I can't wait to share it with you. Now, the 5 words that flip it maybe into a yes. You only need one simple phrase to get the client to close the deal for you, meaning that there's no hard selling and no tech talk involved. In fact, most people, they try to sell the fix too soon. They get excited, they start explaining tools, dashboards, citations, ranking tactics, and guess what? The business owner tunes out. This is because business owners don't want a lesson. They want clarity. They don't need technical terms. What they care about is this, guys. They care about getting more calls. They care about, are we losing money? Are we beating the competitor down the street? And basically, they just never want to feel invisible again. So the key here is to make them feel understood and in control. So who here wants to know the 5-word phrase that opens the door? Give me a yes in the chat box right now, in the question box. Okay. Awesome. So here it is. The 5-word phrase that opens the door, all I say is this: let me show you something. That's it. Let me show you something. It's disarming, it's low pressure, it triggers curiosity, and it never ever feels like a sales pitch. This phrase shifts the power because you're not selling anymore, you're leading. They go from skeptical to asking questions. And guys, this is the magic question that we want them to ask. How can we fix this? Once they ask that question, you're in. This is the soft open that creates $1,000 a month clients without scripts and without pressure. Now, I hope you have a notepad and pen handy right now. If not, maybe you can take a screenshot of this. But here's literally what I say, word for word. Something like this. Hey, Robert, I noticed something odd about your Google listing. You're not showing up for key searches in your area, even though your competitors are. Let me show you what I mean. It'll take 30 seconds. And then what I usually do is I'll either attach a Loom video or I'll attach a screenshot of their grid visibility report showing that outside of their main location, like where their building is, they are not showing up. And then you just wait for a reply. And business owners usually say something like this back. Thanks for the message, Paul. How much to fix it? Right? That's it. They just need to see it. And once they've seen the problem, they will want to fix it. And by now, you've built curiosity, you've proven value, and you've positioned yourself as the expert. The next thing is all you really have to do is name your price. And guys, that's where step 3 begins. But before we continue, I want to find out where you're at, okay? As we jump into this, let's set a goal. How many clients do you need? Okay, throw it into the question or chat box. I mean, think about what that means for you. For some of you, that might mean enough clients to replace your day job. For others, it might be just enough to cover your mortgage payment. Maybe you just want to make a little extra money. Maybe for some of you, it's to save some money. But without a destination in mind, we'll never make it to where we want to go, right? I see some of you saying 6 clients. A lot of you saying 10 clients. That's great, you guys. You just like to start with just your first client. Yeah, just even getting 1 client would be life-changing, right? Because do the math here. This is compounding, right? It's kind of like investing. It compounds month after month because 1 client is not a one-time payment, right? They pay you every single month. So if you land a client in January, in February, you have $1,000 coming in the next month, and in March again, and in April again, right? So 1 client is worth basically $12,000 for the entire year. So if you conservatively landed just 1 client a month, which it's a very conservative estimate, right? 1 client a month, you send off, I don't know, let's say you send off 10 of these audits to potential business owners, and 1 of them replies back and asks how much to fix it, and you land them as a client, and you do that once per month. Okay, by month 2, because you landed 1 new client and have 1 old client paying you $1,000 a month, you're at $2,000 a month. By month 6, because you land 1 new client, you have 5 old ones paying you $5,000, you're up to $6,000 a month. And by the first year, by the end of the first year, you have a total salary now of $78,000 because of that recurring income stacking. Okay, this is doable. This is not out of reach. And that's why we see students who are able to come in and do this. This is a very, very repeatable system. Okay, so I taught you step 1, which was the hidden maps flaw, about how these top ranked businesses are invisible in 90% of their service area. We then covered step 2, and you now know the 5 words that make local business owners say yes, right? Which is the let me show you something. Now we need to get into step 3. How are we going to turn these visibility gaps into monthly paydays? Now, this visibility gap unlocks ongoing $1,000 a month and more retainers, and it works fast. In fact, here's proof from Aneem. who said that within 20 days, okay, within 20 days, he got on page 1 of Google. So in just 3 weeks, okay? Now, Google flat out tells you what they're looking for, but the problem is they kind of hide it. So they list in their profile help section exactly what determines a local ranking. And they boil it down to these 3 factors, okay? Relevance, distance, and prominence. So if you want to increase visibility in maps with the Google Business Profile, you have to be relevant, number 1. That's easy, right? If you're working with a plumber and someone searches for a plumber, well, it's safe to say your client is definitely relevant. However, it's this distance and prominence thing which gets a little more tricky. Let me explain why. Let's pretend you're trying to rank a plumber in Chicago, right? Chicago is a very big area, okay? And Google wants to show you to people that are near you. So that's where this whole thing comes into play. Let's say you're located over by Lincoln Park up here on the map, right? You're probably going to show up really well for anyone who's in this direct neighborhood, within blocks of your building. However, it's the homeowners over here in Brighton Park that are probably not going to see you or know who you are even, because you're just not going to show up. So you have a couple of solutions. The first solution being you could tell your client to go and move their office over there or start renting other buildings. But come on, guys, in a city like Chicago, what are they going to do? Spend $3,000 a month in Brighton Park, $3,000 a month over in Chinatown. Let's go spend $3,000 a month in Cicero. That's not a very nice neighborhood, I hear. So what are they going to do? They're going to keep going and renting buildings all over? That's just not practical. So instead, this is how you dominate for them. You need to establish this digitally. Since we can't physically move our client's building there, we're going to do it digitally. So all you need to do, you guys, is create a piece of content that your client can put on their website about the area, or you can put it on their website for them. And you just mention prominent things in the area. So check this out. If we want to dominate the West Loop area of Chicago, we create a piece of content about the West Loop, and then check out what we do. The neighborhood is a dining, nightlife hotspot, inventive new American global eateries line Restaurant Row and the French Market. Okay, Restaurant Row and the French Market are prominent spots that are in the West Loop. Now, prominent things could mean anything. It could mean like parks, it could mean museums, just anything that the area is known for. And when you mention that in an article, we're not physically there, but we've shown Google that we want this area digitally. And guys, as you start to create content and pages for these areas, they will begin to light up green as shown by the grid tracking, and more calls will begin to pour in from that increased visibility. It's really, really cool. So when you expose invisible gaps to clients and you offer a done-for-you solution, visibility goes up, calls start coming in, and you're charging $1,000 or more per month on a retainer to keep it going. It's the easiest and most fun money that you will probably ever make sitting in the comfort of your own home. Heck, we have people that do it sitting on their couch. Brent is getting 15 to 20 qualified calls every month doing this exact strategy. Now let's be clear, this isn't cold calling. You're not building websites or chasing SEO rankings. You're not hoping ads convert. This is about showing business owners a problem they can't even see and then letting them pay you to solve it for them. At this point, I could stop the webinar and you'd already have enough to go out there and get paid. So far, in the last 35 minutes or so, I've given you the step-by-step blueprint that I've spent years perfecting. It's the same blueprint that's made me multiple 6 figures a year and is already helping dozens of others make life-changing income. You've already seen how to audit listing visibility gaps and use 5 words to get the owner to ask you for the fix, and how that drastically enhances their business. And you now have the recipe for getting your clients to show up anywhere by establishing digital proximity and prominence in the area. I've given you many of my personal methods for maximizing results in the shortest possible time here today, methods that I've battle tested and perfected for years in the trenches with real clients. So let me ask you, are you glad that you came to this workshop today? Go ahead, throw it in the chat box, the question box. Yeah, lots of yeses coming in. Awesome. And do you like knowing that this results-based method is what I personally use to make income on a daily basis? I showed you the case studies. Yeah. And do you like that instead of cold calling, you now have an easy way to show your expertise immediately? Right? Yeah, absolutely. And can you picture yourself using what I've shown you to make real profits even as soon as this week? Heck yeah, right? And I have to ask you this, if you could shortcut the entire delivery process by tracking results automatically and make this feel like a real push button client fulfillment system, let me ask you, would that interest you? Okay, lots of yeses coming in. So here's the challenges, right, with this whole strategy is how do you scale this? How do you show the visibility gaps without spending hours manually checking zip codes? How do you prove it's working without clients blowing up your phone and asking, is this thing doing anything? What if there was a better way? A shortcut to the type of the results that you've seen from all these people, from Derby, from Vince, from Aneem, from Brent, from Paul. Well, that's why I built Lensly, because this was something that I needed myself. Lensly is the AI-powered visibility grid system that you've been seeing throughout this presentation that turns these hidden gaps into $1,000 a month clients. And today, I want to give you access to everything that Lensly has to offer, not for $1,997, although I know I could charge that for it, not for $997, which frankly, that would be an even easier sell, but for just $497 for everything. The Lensly Grid Tracker, the white label reporting, the ranking history, the AI ranking coach so that Lensly tells you literally what to do. You don't even have to do it yourself. The neighborhood page generator and the GBP post page generator, all included inside, and you can get access to it for just $497 today because you attended this very special training webinar, and I want to reward you for taking action. But let's pretend that I did charge $997. Would it be worth it? Of course it would, right? You'd already be way ahead with just one client after your first month, right? You'd be way, way ahead. Now let me show you how Lensly works and why it feels like cheating. You don't need to be an SEO expert. You don't even need to know what's wrong because Lensly's AI ranking coach analyzes your client's listing, compares it to the top competitors, and then tells you what's missing, what to add, and what to fix. You guys, it's like having a $5,000 a month consultant built into your dashboard. To use it, you just run a scan for a business you work with or that you want to work with, and you click into any area where their visibility is low. So like you could click in on this dot right here where it says number 7 where the visibility is low, and it's going to show you their competitors and where they rank. And then at the top here, you can click this AI ranking coach, and it tells you exactly how to fix it. You guys, I kid you not, you do not even need to know what SEO stands for. Seriously. And by the way, guys, this is absolutely insane. And the cool part is that you can really prove to your clients that it's working over time because clients stay when they see your impact. Lensly automatically tracks rankings across zip codes over time so you can show progress and justify your $1,000 a month retainer without saying a word. And this is what really turns this into a monthly income machine. Now, you guys remember how I told you about how we have to generate those neighborhood pages, right? When we see an area that's not ranking really well, we need to establish that digital proximity and prominence. Well, this tool solves that automatically. It creates SEO optimized content for every neighborhood or keyword the business wants to rank for. No writing, no guessing, you just plug it in and you start lighting up that grid tracking on the map. The other cool thing is we have a GBP post generator built in as well so that you can keep their listing active without doing any work. Because Google rewards consistent postings on listings, but most business owners totally forget to do it. So this tool does it automatically with AI, which keeps the listing active and increases their visibility. Clients think you're working all month, and really, you've barely done anything. You've just let Lensly handle it all for you. And guys, you're not just fixing listings here. You're building a reputation with the tools. You're not guessing, you're not pitching, you're just showing results. And that's why clients will happily pay you month after month. Now, I'm going to throw something crazy into the mix here to really, really get this juiced up for you. And that is, I'm going to throw in a special credit boost bonus for those of you guys who join if you're one of the first action takers to join, okay? So you're not just saving off the regular price, but you're also getting a free upgrade to 125,000 credits. Now, normally when you get in on Lensly, you only get 70,000. But that 125,000 credit boost that I'm gonna give you, I'm gonna extend it only for the first 15 people that join on this call right now. Okay, after that, you'll still get the discount, but not the credit boost. So I'll reveal the link here in a minute, but just to really stress this, a 5x5 map scan, which are the ones that you've seen me do here today, they're the most common one that we run for our clients, cost 25 credits. So that's 5,000 scans that you can run. That's more than enough to get you through the entire year. Okay, that's an insane value here. So the link is on the screen right now. I've just put it up right below this, this webinar. Go ahead and click it right now before someone else gets your spot, because this will sell out and I don't know when or if I'll be able to reopen it ever again in the future. Okay, so with the Lensly software suite and the additional credits, that's a total value of over $800 that you're getting in right now for just $497. I also want to make sure you understand when you do go to the checkout right now, it will show you that you're getting 70,000 credits, because that's normally what it comes with. That's because we're going to manually load in the extra 55,000 credits into your account after you join. So once you've checked out, what I would like you to do is put in the chat box or the question box, "I'm in," okay, while we're here on this call, so that we can go ahead and load those credits into your account. And that'll help us keep track of the first 15 spots as well, because like I said, this is a bonus we can only extend for the first 15 people. There is a cost associated with this for us because of like our API fees and server fees and stuff. So we have to limit this bonus. Now, in addition to all of this, you're not just getting Lensly. You're also getting the Lensly Client Revenue Engine. Now I want to explain why this bonus exists. Even though Lensly's AI does the lifting for you, I want you to understand exactly why it works so you can speak with confidence, close clients easier, and scale this faster. What's inside of this? Well, you're going to get training on everything: how to create or take over a Google Business Profile, the right way to optimize every section. Most people get this part wrong. When to use citations and backlinks and when not to. How grid tracking reveals hidden money zones in every city, and my plug-and-play maps growth frameworks used to close $1,000 to $5,000 a month clients. The real magic here, guys, you do not need to master any of this. Lensly automates the entire process with AI. But when clients realize you know this stuff inside and out, they trust you and pay you premium retainers. So this isn't just about the training. This is your unfair advantage here, okay? So while the first 15 people are getting in and claiming their extra credits by typing "I'm in the chat box and question box right now, I want to just go over these bonuses. In fact, let me take you inside of the members area of this training so that you can see what it looks like. So once you join, you will get access to our Thrivecart Learn platform. And this is where all of your training will be. So you're going to have 2 training courses loaded up in here in addition to your Lensly software. Your Lensly software will be a separate login. But inside of here, you'll have your Lensly training, which is 8 videos of exactly how to get started with Lensly. These videos are straight to the point. They're about 1 minute and 30 seconds to 3 minutes long, each of them. So you will be through these videos in about 15 minutes and have your Lensly account fully, like you'll know how to use everything, right? Inside and out. You'll learn how to, navigate your dashboard, how to add locations into the software, how to run your first scan, how to set up recurring scans, because you can charge clients to keep track of things for them, how to analyze competitors, use AI Ranking Coach, how to use the Article Builder, how to use the GBP, the Google Business Profile Post Generator, okay? This is training on how to use the software, just to get yourself familiar with it. But in addition, like I said, you're getting the Lensly Client Revenue Engine training as well. And this training is massive, you guys. This is everything that you could possibly need to know about Google My Business, Google Maps, Google Business Profiles, okay? Everything is in here. Nothing is left out. And you're going to feel like a complete expert going at this stuff, knowing that you're not going at it alone, okay? So all this stuff is here, all of the resources that you need. I just wanted to show you quickly inside so you can just see how much value you're getting with even just this one bonus alone. Okay, so You're getting the Lensly software suite. You're getting 55,000 additional credits if you're one of the first 15 people in. I'm looking right now. It looks like we have about 7 spots left on that. So basically we're half gone, just about. So guys, please don't wait. If you know that you want to be in, don't wait for me to continue going through the rest of these bonuses, or those spots may very well be gone. And like I said, you'll still get the bonuses and the discount, but then you won't get the 55,000 additional credits. If you purchase right now, I'm letting you know right now, we still have spots available. So let me know if you're in or you're heading to that page right now so that we can hold your spot for that. So yeah, you're getting that, and then you're getting the Lensly Client Revenue Engine, which I just showed you. Okay, this is a total value, all of these combined, of $1,319, but you're getting all of this today, guys, for $497. It is an absolutely insane deal that we put together for you, and this is your one chance to get access to it. Okay, so I wanted to give you guys another bonus that I thought would really help you out, and that is the Client Conversion Power Pack. So these are 3 things that I think are going to really help you out. It's everything you need to turn audits into high-paying recurring clients. So inside this bundle, you get all the money-making pieces that most people are missing. You're going to get the Audit Closer Kit. These are follow-up scripts that will revive silent leads and get replies fast. You're going to get the Fast Proposal Builder. What this is a plug-and-play proposal plus pricing framework that makes saying yes easy for them. And then you're going to get the Recurring Revenue Playbook. And this is how to turn a one-time fix into a $1,000 to $2,500 a month client consistently. Okay, this isn't theory. This is the exact system used to close and keep clients on autopilot. Most people know how to send an audit, right? I just showed you how to do that. I can show you more in detail as well as we keep going here. But almost nobody knows how to turn it into a predictable monthly income. And this pack does that for you automatically. So you want to jump in on this. That's worth $297, which brings our total value up to $1,616. So let me show you how to actually run one of those audits, as long as we're on the topic of it. So inside of your Lensly account, right? Like I said, you'll have 2 accounts, one for Lensly and one for Thrivecart Learn, which will be all of your training and bonuses and all of that stuff. So you'll be doing most of the things that you need to do right inside of Lensly. Let's say that you want to run a report for a flooring contractor in Winter Garden. Let's go to the MAPS listings here, and maybe we want to run a report and find someone that we think maybe we want to work with. Maybe this Maura J's wood floor. Okay, so we're going to pop into Lensly. We're going to hop over to the Locations tab, and we're going to add a location in here. So his name is Maura J's Flooring. So there it is. It popped up right away. We're going to click it, and we're going to add it into Lensly. Next, we're going to run a scan. We do this on the Keyword Tracking tab. It's super easy. If we want to set up recurring scans, we can do that too. But if we're prospecting and we just want to send a scan, this is how we do it. We come in here, we click New Keyword Scan. We click the location for the contractor that we want to run the scan for, and we type in a keyword like flooring winter garden. Then we hit continue. We get to determine what size scan we want to run. Remember, I told you the most common size that we use is a 5x5 grid. So I normally just leave it on this, and this scan only costs you 25 credits. Remember, you're getting 125,000 credits if you're one of the first 15, because we'll be loading an additional 55,000 credits into your account when you type I'm in the question box or the chat box right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to change the search radius a little bit further out. Maybe let's do 5 mile radius. Well, we'll do a little bit closer. Let's do a 4 mile. I normally do about somewhere between 3 and 5 miles, because that's going to zoom you out and show, a bigger chunk of the area where you can get some extra cities and stuff in there. Maybe I'll go even a little bit further out just so that we can really see. So now we're scooping up some different areas: Bay Lake, Horizon West, Four Corners, Celebration. So we're getting these different areas in here. Now we're going to run the scan. That's it. It's processing. We're going to give it a little bit to work. It takes between 3 and 5 minutes to work. So while that works, we'll come back to it. I'm going to go over another bonus for you guys. Okay, and that bonus is the Student Results Vault. Now, the Student Results Vault is a vault of student interviews that I've done with successful students who have been successful in getting clients. I mentioned Paul T earlier, who's running a 7-figure agency. He's got an interview in here. These interviews are like 30 to 60 minutes long, but I like to call it client getting confidence on demand, because nothing boosts your belief faster than seeing someone just like you land their first deal. And this vault makes that your daily fuel. So I decided to compile these, do some interviews, and throw them in for you so that you have those available to you. And when you total all of this total value up now, we are at a total value of $1,960. But again, for those of you who are in on this call, you're getting in for just $497. You guys, we have 4 spots left. Okay, 4 spots left, and we still have some more to cover here on this call. So really, guys, I do not want you to miss out on these 55,000 additional credits. Head over to the page right now, sign up, then come and type "I'm in the chat box so that I can load those 55,000 credits into your account. These spots are going super fast, so I really don't want you to miss out on that. Okay, let's go check back on our scan, and then we'll continue on. Okay, our scan is done here, and this looks great. We can see our heat map here on the right. So on the scan, just as you would expect, they're ranking good over here, which must be where they're located, right? But then in other areas, like over here, the rankings start to tank, 8 and 11, especially over here, 11 over in the Lake Butler area. If we click in on their listing, we can see who's beating them. So this is where they rank, and then look at all these people that are beating them, right? So what we can do now is we can export this report, or we can just take a screenshot of it, and we can send that email off to them and say, hey, we noticed a problem with your Google Maps listing. You're going to use the Client Conversion Power Pack, right? You can also export this and put your logo in there if you want. Export as a PDF and put your logo in there and then send that off to them. It makes you look really professional. Okay, but even just a screenshot will do. And you're going to use the whole "let me show you something," okay? Then they respond back how much to fix it, okay? And that's when you're in. You're going to use the Client Conversion Power Pack with the Fast Proposal Builder to get them on a $1,000 a month or however much you want to charge plan. And now you can click into the spot where they need some help and implement the AI Ranking Coach. You do that by coming up here and clicking AI Ranking Coach. It's going to take a little bit here to build a plan. Doesn't take very long, but give it about 30 to 60 seconds. So we can see here it did a full analysis, and it tells you exactly what to do. It tells you that we need to change the primary category, so it analyzed that, because right now the category was listed as like general contractor or something like that. And then it's telling us some service areas that we could go after as well, like this local landing page, flooring and winter garden. So boom, we know exactly what to do. We've got 3 things that we can do to fix it. We can hop out of here now, and we can go and write the page article that we need written. And we can do that at the Page Article tab. Come up here, click New Article, target location, Winter Garden, Florida. For flooring contractor, I think that was what it was. Correct me if I'm wrong. And we hit continue. So we can target additional keywords as well in here. It gave us some. I should have wrote them down, but I didn't. But we'll just say flooring. And we can put in their call to action. So maybe we want people to call, so we can grab their phone number here. We'll say call now with their phone number. We'll say we want the article to be somewhere between 500 and 800 words. And all we do is we hit generate article content. And now instantly we're establishing that digital proximity and prominence that we talked about that we're missing, right? So wherever we see the map isn't lighting up green, we pop in here and we do this and boom, we're going to see those map spots start to light up all over the place. Here it is, it generated, boom. There it is, and it's going to mention right here, it's mentioning Downtown Historic District. It's mentioning Winter Garden Village, Lake Apopka, West Orange Trail, right? It does it all for you automatically. All right, so you guys, as you can see, with just one client, you've at least doubled your money. Like Vince here, who landed a client for $900 a month. So what happens after you join Lensly today? Step 1, you're getting instant access. As soon as you join, you're going to get an email with your login and a quick start guide. There's no waiting, no setup headaches. You're going to have one login for your Lensly software, which I showed you, and then you're going to have one login from ThriveCart, which is going to be all of your training. Step 2, you're going to launch your first audit in minutes. I just showed you how to do it here today. You'll use the grid tracker to uncover visibility gaps for a business in your area, and you'll literally see where they're invisible. Step 3, you're going to send the Let Me Show You Something report. You can grab the copy-paste script, or you can use a Loom video to do it if you want from the Client Revenue Engine. And then you'll send your first real audit to a business owner. It could be as simple as screenshotting that chart and say, hey, let me show you something. I noticed something wrong with your maps listing. And then step 4, you're going to close your first client using the done for you proposal. Once they say how much to fix it, you'll respond with a clean, professional proposal that'll make you look like a seasoned pro. And then step 5, you just rinse and repeat, and you scale up your $1,000 plus a month retainers. You'll use the AI ranking coach, the post generator, and ranking history to deliver results and get paid month after month. So, you guys, we have just 2 spots left on this 55,000 additional credit bonus. Who's going to take them? Let me know in the chat box by saying I'm in once you're in so that I can hold your spot. I also want to let you know how to get help if you need any help or anything, whether that be accessing bonuses, checking out. All you have to do is visit pauljames.com/support, and you can click I purchased a product from Paul and need support, and just fill in your contact details and your question, and we will get back to you within the same day. We're super fast. We're on top of it. We pride ourselves in having great customer support. Now listen, guys, I'm sure we can all agree that what we do with our money makes all the difference, right? And the goal here is to get you making daily sales by fixing these invisible maps listings, even when you're not actively really doing much. The software is handling it all for you. That's the ultimate freedom, right? Now let's break this down into 3 options you have right now. Option number 1 is you can spend nothing, do nothing, and stay exactly where you are and nothing changes. Option 2, you can spend money on something else. Or option 3, you spend money on Lensly today, you get set up, you hit your first audit, and you get your first client asking you how much to fix it. And boom, you're in profit, okay? That makes it a pretty easy decision in my opinion. I really, really am excited to see you get started. We do have to wrap this up though. I know I promised you guys that we would, get right into things, and I really appreciate you being here today. I want you to think about something that I've been thinking a lot about lately, and that is this. Money always comes back, but time never does. You could invest $497 in Lensly today, and in a couple of weeks or whenever you get paid next, that money comes back, right? But time, once it's spent, is gone forever. Think about it. Every week, you put in another 40 hours or more at a job, maybe a job you don't like. That's a week that is lost literally forever. You never get it back. Lensly is built to give you back time, your most precious asset. So you invest a little money today, which you'll get back anyway because money always replenishes, to get a lifetime of more free time. It makes it a pretty easy decision, wouldn't you agree? Yeah, absolutely. So again, a quick recap, guys, of everything, and then I'll do some more questions here. I see questions coming in, and I've got some other questions that I see we compiled them into a sheet here. But you're getting the software suite, the 55,000 additional credits, which are almost sold out, but you still have time to jump in on that. The Lensly Client Revenue Engine, which is the training on everything, the Client Conversion Power Pack, and the student results. A total value of $1,960. But when you join now using the link below the webinar, you get in for just $497. Insane. I'm going to be straight with you. Whether or not you decide to invest today, it's not going to make a huge difference in my life, right? Like, you're not doing this for me. Nothing will change for me. I'm still going to live life the same way I do right now. But I can promise you this, guys, and I say this from the bottom of my heart because I've seen it time and time again. When you make a decision backed by action, it's almost like magic what can happen. So make that decision, jump in today, and let's build your first $1,000 a month revenue machine. All right, so some Q&A, and then we'll go ahead and wrap this up because we're about to be sold out here. Do I need experience with SEO or Google Maps? And the answer is no. Lensly shows you exactly what to fix, and the client revenue engine gives you everything to land the client. The next question, what if I'm not good at selling? And my answer is good. That's the whole point, because you're not selling. You're just saying, let me show you something, and Lensly handles the proof. Next question, do I need to live in the US for this to work? The answer, not at all. In fact, many users live internationally and still land US clients, and Lensly works anywhere Google Maps does anyways. All right, next question, will this work if I never had a client before? And the answer is absolutely. In fact, most students who land their first $1,000 client with this had no prior experience, like Paul. He was working as a mortgage officer. He just followed the system. Next question, is there a yearly fee? The answer is yes. And that's because Lensly is a professional software platform. So there's a low yearly renewal to keep your account active. It's just $497. You're grandfathered in at that price. But right now, you're also getting a $100 discount because normally it's $597 for everyone else. And you're getting 125,000 credits instead of 70,000. So you're starting way ahead of everyone else. So jump in on this. If you're still thinking about it, like I said, you've got nothing to lose and $1,000 a month retainers to gain. So this is kind of your last chance here. We're going to wrap things up. As promised, I wanted to give you guys the Invisible Listing Fix checklist just for hanging out here with me today on this webinar, on the special training. So visit the link on your screen to get that. It's pauljames.com/MMU bonus, and you can download that checklist just for hanging out here today. I am so excited for you guys to get started. We're going to go ahead and do one final call here. I do want to make sure that you understand that after this slide, the webinar is ending and the price is going up. Don't let this be one of those I'll come back later moments. If you're still here watching, it's because you know this could work for you. The only thing between you and your first $1,000 a month client is quite literally action. You've seen the opportunity, you've seen the system, you've seen others win with it. And the next win, it could be yours. So visit the link below this webinar, lock in your Founders Credit Boost before the last couple spots are gone here. I will see you guys later. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me here today. It's been a pleasure. And if you need any help at all, you guys know how to reach me. We'll see you inside. Take care, you guys.